Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! So, why am I wearing this silly hat? Well, I don't know, actually. But it kind of leads very clearly into the next discussion I'd like to have. We're talking about culture, right? We're talking about the things that are going on in the world and how they're set up and the rules and the laws and what makes different countries and different cultures and different things different and is there a right and wrong way, et cetera, et cetera. So that's all I want to talk about. But a lot of that stems historically from religion. So we need to talk a little bit about religion and how sort of religion impacts things. And ideally, we'll get a chance to talk about religion, like different kinds of religions and what they mean. Like the more that you know about the different religious pieces, the more you'll understand the way the world works. Like most of us spend most of our time in a Christian kind of sense, but Christianity really is the underlying factor for all the things that we kind of believe. Whether you're a Christian or not, practicing Christian doesn't make any difference. We are a Christian culture. But so to understand the Islamic culture of the Middle East, culture of Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, places like that, right, you can't really look at it from a Christian perspective because it just doesn't work. So you need to know what those things are. And the more you know, like always, the more clear things are. So but what I want to start off with is when we look at the board up here, is that so the word has this culture thing. It has two words set up. It has God on one side and religion on the other. And people they interchange the words religion and God as kind of have the same meaning. But you have to really, really grasp clearly in that they are not the same thing. In fact, they have very little to do with each other. Right? So we kind of have to sort of talk a little bit about that. The notion of God, this character, this man, woman, entity, force, concept, something, right, is central to a lot of beliefs. But the beliefs about God that's what religion is. Religion is cultural. Religion is this. This is what, when we're talking about religion, we're talking about individual cultures, individual countries, individual approaches to community, all that stuff. That's religion. That's not God. Right? God is a separate thing. You use religion or you use God in religion to sort of like give it some kind of a force or some kind of meaning, but God itself, the concept of God, is a central thing, is a separate thing. So we need to spend time talking about that, and it's something that's really difficult for a lot of people to grasp because their whole existence has been God and religion being the same thing, right? Like we don't even know if God exists, or do we? I mean, there are a number of ways that people have tried to use to prove the existence of God, to see how sort of to make that connection. The one that was sort of used initially is one known as the ontological argument for the existence of God, and that one is also now it's about 1,000 years ago. But I mean, the ancient Greeks addressed this stuff as well. So if you want to see the ontological argument, there's another video, I think it's the one after this one, that you can address that one as well. So just something to think about with regard to God and religion and the cultural piece of that and how they're almost kind of like very separate things.